Good afternoon, Dr. Partha.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to everybody.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. So let us start.
Ladies and gentlemen, sir, shall we start the valedictory ceremony?
एक मिनट मैडम विवेकानंद गुड आफ्टरनून सर विवेकानंद सर
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon to all.
We are live now.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर
Yes. Please start session.
स्टार्ट दिस सर
Namaste to everybody.
डॉक्टर सर क्या
Namaskar to all of you. A very warm greetings to all of you. Respected chief guest of today's program, Dr. Partha Ghoshal, scientist G and head Defense Meteorological Research Lab, DRDO, Hyderabad. Our special guest, Professor Vivekananda Singh, Professor and HOD, VIT Patna. Professor Dr. Avnish Kumar Srivastava, Director of CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. Our invited guest, Mr. Vinod Kumar, Deputy Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Raipur Region. Sheikh, Deputy Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Jabalpur Region. Dr. Satanand Mishra, Senior Scientist and Coordinator, CSIR Jigyasa Program. Distinguished guests, participants, dignitaries, principal, teachers, scientists, researchers, ladies and gentlemen, I, Dr. Sarika Verma,
Madam, your voice is breaking, ma'am.
now it's a blow on Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge science and technology. I welcome you, all of you, once again. I am very sure that, ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants who have been there with us for last 2 days, we have tried to cover very, very important, innovative, and very hot issues that are the requirement of present and the future. The talk basically consisted of 9 total sessions, and we talked about the waste to wealth, then cement-free geopolymeric material, silicon PV technology, then use of IT, which is very important, emerging challenges in science and technology, carbon nano-based material for healthcare application, calibration and onset of air. Then we talked about the smart materials and actuators and carbon-free futures, talking about the hydrogen energy. So now, not taking much of the time to proceed ahead, now I would like to invite our Director CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, Professor Dr. Avnish Kumar Srivastava, for his welcome address to the August gathering.
Namaskar to all of you. At the outset, I would like to welcome you for this 5th National Science Teachers Workshop 2022 on Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge science and technology, Valedictory program. We started this program yesterday morning with very eminent speakers and our distinguished guests, Professor Sunil Kumar Singh, Director, National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, and Professor Anand Subramaniam of IIT Kanpur. Professor Sunil Singh talked about blue economy involving ocean science and with environment, the effect on environment, material science experiments and involving crystal structures, crystal growth, solidification. These things were talked by Professor Anand Subramaniam. And I tell you, if you have not heard these 2 lectures, you have really missed something. But anyway, as I understand, these lectures are there on YouTube, so you can hear it. So that's how we started the National Science Teachers Workshop. This is 5th in series under Jigyasa program. At CSIR-AMPRI, we are involved in this program since 2017, since program was started between Ministry of Human Resource Development and the Ministry of Science and Technology, CSIR. And being Engineering Materials Lab, CSIR-AMPRI Advanced Materials Processor Research Institute, we are working on lightweight materials, nanomaterials, cement-free concrete, and radiation shielding materials, waste to value-added materials, different kind of composite materials, and biomaterials, sensors, and actuators. Then we are also working on rural technologies and water resource management. So we are contributing a lot as far as when we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat. I'll come to that point again. But our vision of AMPRI really fulfills the various visions of the government of India. Like first, Atmanirbhar Bharat, where we intend to discuss and talk about cutting edge science and technology in this today's workshop. In this field, we are working on Parali board solution for Parali burning. And last lecture, there was some question also about it. And I also welcome to that gentleman scientist to participate in this program. X-ray shielding tiles, Make in India, Raman spectrometer, additive manufacturing, makeshift hospitals, electrochemical 3D printing. All these programs we are going through under Atmanirbhar Bharat. You know, the Atmanirbhar Bharat has got 5 pillars. As our Honorable Prime Minister of country and President of CSIR, Sri Narendra Modi coined this terminology in May 2020 during the peak COVID time. It has got 5 pillars: economy, infrastructure, demography, demand, and system. And really what he said, it's really mind-blowing, and we all have to understand. These 5 pillars are, all 5 pillars are very, very important. I may not be able to touch all points, but definitely economy, when he says we need quantum jump in economy, not just incremental growth. That is not going to solve the problem. Similarly, infrastructure is very important. And infrastructure takes care of a lot of things. So unless you have a very strong, efficient, and precise infrastructure, it is not possible to grow. Then demography. We all know we have a very strong demography, diversified country from north to south, east to west, and then demand and system. So we are definitely, as AMPRI, being Engineering Materials Lab, we are contributing in our. In addition to that, we are working on visions like green and sustainable materials for circular economy. That is also part of Self-Reliant. We are in hybrid wood composites, bamboo composites, copper tailings, slash to paver blocks, and tetrapods from fly ash. Fly ash, you know, it's a waste from your thermal power plants. And then geopolymeric roads again from fly ash, which is cement-free concrete material. We are working on advanced and functional materials, like translating graphene materials, devices, and components. Then piezoelectric nanogenerators, energy and hydrogen storage materials. You just heard talk about hydrogen energy, biomaterials, biosensors, shape memory alloys, SPR, Raman spectroscopy, and then various societal problems we are trying to solve directly without interfacing with industry. Initiatives for livelihood improvements of native tribes in Patalkot village using CSIR technologies. Jigyasa motivating more than 1 lakh students by now. We have done it in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and to some extent in Odisha. Thanks to Kendriya Vidyalayas and Navodaya schools. then initiatives for COVID-19 awareness and mitigation, Safe Drinking Water Initiative in Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh, thanks to Department of Science and Technology for sponsoring project, and skill program and ACSIR program training. So whatever we are doing, it's under various visions of Government of India. The objective of this National Science Teachers Workshop, it's very clear that we have to keep on updating and upgrading ourselves. By and large, if I see the gathering, either in this gathering also, either we have students or faculties. We are all faculties at different positions, and then we have students probably also in this gathering. So we all need to have a very upgraded and updated information in terms of various sectors of science and technology, and that is the idea of the idea of organizing this kind of workshops, so that eminent speakers comes in, they give their lectures in their respective field and enlighten us in their areas, so that we can, when we go to classrooms, whether it is school classrooms or graduate or postgraduate classrooms, when we go there, we can definitely motivate our students with the recent science and technology. So I believe that all participants and speakers too enjoyed these 2 days science teachers workshop. And now in this valedictory program, we have again very eminent scientists and speakers with us. Dr. Partha of Defense Metallurgical Research Laboratory, Hyderabad, Professor Vivekananda Singh of NIT Patna, Deputy Commissioners Mr. Tajuddin Sheikh, Mr. Vinod Kumar, Dr. Vandana Shekhar, Assistant Commissioner, KVS Jabalpur region, and many more. So I feel that this 2 days workshop, it was like full of energy. Now, how much energy we can utilize, we can consume, and we can absorb, and further we can dissipate this energy, and we can disseminate the knowledge what we have gained in these 2 days. I think that is going to be very important. Organization of such workshops, it's not easy job, let me tell you. And I am head of institution, but definitely the people who are directly or indirectly involved in organizing this workshop, I really thank all of them from core of my heart, because it takes a lot of efforts to organize this workshop, and it's all basically, ultimately, at the end of the day, it is going to benefit the nation in the future. I can talk a lot, but definitely I should listen others, because we have very eminent 2 speakers today, 2-3 speakers we have to listen. But definitely the cutting edge science and technology, when we talk, I mean, there are many things which we have to think and incorporate in our day-to-day science and technology life. At present, we are talking about Industry 4.0 and 5.0 also. Where when we talk about Industry 4.0, we talk about artificial intelligence, big data science, cloud computing, 3D, additive manufacturing, and so on. So why we are doing all these things? Industry 5.0, where robots have to work alongside with us, parallel. So why we are doing all these things? Just to make the system more precise, efficient, and probably cost effective. We should not directly jump on cost effective, please. First, we have to adopt, understand the new technologies. And when technologies goes from lab to land, then there is a big chain of reaction. And finally, it depends on the consumer market also. And all the time, it's not like somebody was talking about Parali composite. Parali Parali, if you are in Delhi or Haryana or Punjab, and during the months of this October, November, December, or to some extent January, even on TV channels, you hear that Parali makes like Delhi as a gas chamber. So it's a disease. You need a solution. You need a medicine. When you want to take medicine, you don't think about cost effective. You want to treat yourself. So it's not always we directly jump on cost effective. First, we have to see how the technology is going to improve your quality of life, how the technology is going to make your day-to-day life more efficient. That is more important. And then definitely when there is a large consumer market, cost will come down. But initial investment, when we start thinking about cost effectiveness, initial investment is large, huge. I mean, whatever big programs are there, I can see Dr. Partha Ghoshal from Defense, how much investment we do for what? To improve our quality of life. So please, I think we should focus first on the quality of science and technology and how to implement these things in our day-to-day life. And then definitely the cost and all those things will come down and we will be able to absorb. So if we want to move from the tag of developing countries to developed countries, we have to think in terms of high quality science and technology because they are the main component of the growth engine of any country. So thanks that all participants are faculties here and students also from science background. So they will understand these things and we should think about newer and efficient technologies and innovation in science and then having more and more Indian technologies in India and abroad. With this brief comments, I once again welcome to all of you for this valedictory program of National Science Teachers Workshop. And we still have a few very good speakers to listen. So let us enjoy listening them. And thanks once again for all of you. On behalf of CSIR-AMPRI, and also on my personal behalf, I thank all of you for joining this today's workshop. Namaskar, Dhanyawad, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words. You have beautifully explained the excellent expertise of AMPRI, that what we people are doing here and what is our vision in the future so that the society will be directly benefited. Also, you talked about the Atmanirbhar Bharat and you have rightly said about the quantum economy wherein the basic people or the other people can get the benefited. And you have also the importance of the workshop wherein we have been involved in the 2 days, and really it was a wonderful experience that I must say that with different visions and different varieties of the lectures and the speakers, everybody were able to listen. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to move here.
Thank you, Dr. Sarkya Burma. Namaskar, a very good afternoon to one and all. Respected today's chief guest, Dr. Partha Ghoshal, Scientist G and Head, DRML, DRDO Hyderabad. Guest of honor, Professor Vivekananda Singh, sir, Professor Civil Engineering Department in IT Patna. Dr. Vandana Sekhar, Assistant Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Jabalpur Region. Professor Avnish Kumar Srivastava, Director CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. Dear participants of the workshop, our colleague and other dignitaries, a hearty welcome to all the Valedictory ceremony of 5th National Science Teacher Workshop 2022 organized by CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. The theme of this workshop is Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge science and technology. Before going to the details of this workshop, I wish to brief you about the journey of National Science Teacher Workshop, which have been organized by CSIR-AMPRI. First workshop was organized in November 2017 with 30 teachers. And second workshop organized in November 2018 with 50 teachers. Third workshop organized in November 2019 with 150 teachers. And fourth workshop is organized March 2021 with 250 teachers. And at present, we are here in the fifth workshop with 600 teachers. This is the success journey of our workshop. First workshop is organized offline due to COVID pandemic. We have organized last two workshops online mode, but that is unknown. Yes, sir, this is the 5th National Science Teacher Workshop, which is based on self-reliant India using cutting-edge science and technology for the science teachers belonging to Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, state government schools, and private schools. To focus on depth knowledge of recent research and development in science and technology, being a scientist and representing a scientific institute, it is my moral responsibility to provide real application of science and technology in scientific field. I have selected very renowned speakers who are associated with hardcore research and development and teaching. The speakers deliver detailed lectures, hands-on, and case studies based on real application of science and technology. I hope the participating teachers were truly benefited by this footage of knowledge gaining and sharing experiences and propagate this knowledge to new generation. I also invite participants, teachers who are interested to shake hands with our institution and scientists in future. Now I'm going to elaborate the activities of today's National Science Teacher Workshop. The 5th National Science Teacher Workshop was inaugurated on 4th February at 10 a.m. with welcome address by Professor Avnish Kumar Srivastava, Director CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, in presence of our honorable Chief Guest Professor Sunil Kumar Singh, Director CSIR-NIO Goa, and guest of honor Professor Anand Subramaniam, Professor Department of Material Science and Engineering, IIT Kanpur. In the gracious presence of Mr. Somi Srivastava, Deputy Commissioner, KVS, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Regional Office Bhopal, Dr. Manish Mudgal, Senior Principal Scientist and Head CAS and GM, Dr. Archana Singh, Principal Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, and all the scientists, technical staff, administrative staff of CSIR-AMPRI. The chief guest inaugurated the online 5th National Science Teacher Workshop, spread across 4th February 2022, and appreciated the efforts put into continue the learning process despite the difficulties of COVID pandemic on online platform. In the inaugural ceremony include two brilliant talks by our chief guest, as our director has said in the welcome address, Professor Sunil Kumar Singh, Director, CSIR-NIO, Goa, and well-renowned geochemist and blue economy, scientific and technological intervention. Professor Singh explained about importance of blue economy and its contribution on planet Earth and its biological effect, as well and solar radiation effect on ocean and its effect on food and other factors and its global scenario. Professor Sunil Singh discussed about the anthropogenic activity and ocean global warming and post-glacial sea level rise and continuation mesmerizing lecture by our guest of honor, Professor Anand Subramaniam, Department of Material Science and Engineering, IIT Kanpur, on the topic Learning with Models, Experiments and Video. Professor Anand Subramaniam brilliantly explained platonic solid with live demonstration and wonders of global model and simulation technique for stress analysis such as finite element method. Further, he explained heterogeneous nucleation experiments and emphasized on best way of learning through models and experiment and their practical implementation. The first session of National Science Teacher Workshop was initiated innovative use of IT in teaching and learning process by Professor Anuj Bhunde, Professor of Physics and convener of IQAC Institute of Excellence in Higher Education, Bhopal. The main aim was to describe innovative use of IT in teaching and learning process. Professor Anuj Bhunde started the session by giving introduction of different model of skill development from unconscious incompetence, conscious competence, learning pyramid. He continued the session with average student retention rate. Analogy such as teaching is like fishing, teaching is like beautiful music. Some animated examples like photosynthesis, phasers, etc. Understanding technologies by progressive method. He concluded the session with 4 levels of technology: interactions, sparse, basic, comfortable, and seamless instructional tools. 5 teaching students practically demonstrated different ways classroom are using technology for e-teaching and e-learning using different e-platforms like Swayam, Vidwan, NDL, e-Sodh, Sindhu, spoken tutorial, e-Pathshala, and many more. The second session conducted by Dr. Manish Mudgal about advanced cement-free fly ash-based geopolymeric eco-friendly concrete for infrastructural application. Dr. Manish Mudgal started the session by discussing alternative binder, alternative cementous material, basic details of fly ash. He continued the session with geopolymeric formation and its structure. In continuation, the third session conducted by Dr. Bandana on silicon PV technology, progress and advanced concept. Dr. Bandana initiated talk by discussing concept of the silicon photovoltaic technology. Solar photovoltaic is a renewable clean energy source and our country is working dedicatedly under National Solar Mission for self-reliance in clean energy generation from renewable energy sources. She highlighted ongoing activities in the country under National Solar Mission, a deep insight to silicon PV technology with a focus on advanced cell structure and R&D concept silicon PV technology development for the year. Session 4 was on the topic Waste to Wealth, recent innovation and opportunities by Dr. P. Asokan, Chief Scientist and Chairman Business Development Cell at CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. The lecture is intended to highlight waste to wealth, recent innovation and opportunities, utilization of renewable resources to achieve sustainable development. The session 5 of this workshop began with the talk of Professor K.S. Tiwari, Emerging Challenges and Role of Science and Technology. Dr. Tiwari started the session with different challenges that occurred due to COVID, discussed various variants of COVID-19, post-COVID problem, various challenges in pandemic management, transport problem. He continued the session with various medical instrumentation development across the country due to pandemic management with the help of decarbonization at global level. The talk elaborates greenhouse gas problem, how to reduce the level of CO2 and manage the temperature, power generation, industry challenges of reducing the level of carbon dioxide. The session 6 was on the topic calibration and assessment of air quality equipment by Dr. Kirti Soni. Dr. Soni started the session with quick introduction of different equipment, importance of calibration, monitoring techniques for air quality index. She continued the session with detailed description of SODAR, design, working, data modeling, and flow. She also informed about traceability issue in air quality management. calibration for wind tunnel for PM's sampler and SODAR with reference of air quality management. The session 7 was on topic application of smart material as an actuator by Engineer H.N. Bhargav, Senior Principal Scientist and Head the Department of Intelligent Material and Advanced Processes, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. Engineer Bhargav started the session with introduction of smart materials and its types such as shape memory, alloy, composites, polymers, pros and cons of SMA, smart material actuator, and its application. Next session was conducted by Dr. Sarika Verma, Principal Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, on the topic recent advances in carbon-based nanomaterials for healthcare applications. The lecture elaborated developed promising technologies for water resources management and hybrid green composite materials, nanomaterials. She continued with discussion of carbon-based nanomaterials, overview of characterization techniques of CNT, etc. The last session of this workshop began with the session on carbon-free future energy source, hydrogen, by Dr. Archana Singh, Principal Scientist. The lecture is intended to highlight the future energy source and their challenges on the earth, such as fossil fuel, solar energy, nuclear energy, and further explain about renewable energy sources, hydrogen, biomass, and solar energy. Dr. Archana further discussed about steps for hydrogen infrastructure and methodology for hydrogen production by water splitting, by electrolysis and HRD characterization for morphology and surfaces area of samples. What we can expect from this workshop? I think the exposure to current science and technology research, designing of worksheets and activity sheet for classroom, uses creating models and tools for assessing student science learning, advancement in knowledge acquisition system. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mishra. You have beautifully explained in detail about the today's workshop. You have rightly said it is a fifth session or fifth series of the workshop that we are heading. And from your talk, we were able to see that we are increasing the participant with respect to the coordination that we are doing from first workshop to the fifth workshop. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to hear from the participant. This session we have kept for the feedback from the participant. We would like to hear from the participant their experience that they had in these 2 days. So I would invite the participant to share their experience, please.
Madam, may I share?
Please introduce yourself and you can share, please.
Yes, sir. Madam, myself, Jagdish Chandra Patidar, PGT Chemistry, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Dhar, Madhya Pradesh. Madam, all the participating teachers are very grateful from bottom of heart to CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal to arrange such a knowledge-oriented, wonderful workshop for science teachers. We are grateful to Honorable Director, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, Dr. A.K. Srivastava Sirji, to arrange such wonderful knowledge-oriented, practical-oriented, experimental-oriented workshop, and we have really enriched our knowledge for further transmission to our students. At the same time, we are thankful to Dr. Sadanand Mishra ji, Coordinator CSIR Jigyasa Program, for arranging such a wonderful workshop. And at the same time, we are thankful from core of our heart to whole team of CSIR Jigyasa to organize such wonderful and knowledge-oriented workshop. We have enriched ourselves by all the sessions just from inaugural ceremony, when Professor Sri Ananda Subramaniam Sirji enlightened us with activity-oriented teaching using simple models which we can construct, we can demonstrate to our students by simple activities and models we can make the models by our sticks or by paper A4 size sheets, papers like tetrahedron, dodecahedron, and simple activities, how freezing point of water changes from one point to another. Such simple activities really we can demonstrate in our simple school science laboratories. We have received diversity of knowledge from diversified sessions of science given by different scientists. Really, emerging challenges are the tasks which can be overcome by application of science and technology, and this was really demonstrated by Sri S.K. Tiwari sir, emerging on the topic emerging challenges and role of science and technology today. All the scientists explained the entire process and application of particular field of science, and the participants asked the questions, and all those questions were answered by the speakers, and all the queries were fulfilled very broadly and to a very, what we can say, broad spectrum of knowledge. So we all are very thankful to CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal to organize such a practical oriented science workshop, and we hope in future also we will be invited to participate in such wonderful programs, and we science teacher really want such programs only, because we have to transmit the knowledge, transmission of knowledge only when we can be having such what is a flow of knowledge from higher source to lower source, as thermodynamics says in chemistry. Thank you. Thank you, the whole team Jigyasa program. Thank you once again. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, can I give my feedback?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Please share.
I am Mrs. Kantimati from Kendri Vidyalaya number 2 Bhopal. This is the first time attending this program. So I must say thanks to my principal, sir, and also for organizing this program. Actually, when I was also suffering with the COVID positive, then when suddenly I have seen my name, I thought that I am already not well. Then I have to attend this program. It was a little bit disturbance in my mind. And then afterwards, when I started attending this program, I thought that I got a golden opportunity to attend this program. I just want to say that all the eminent scientists who had given the presentation from the blue economy to the waste to wealth, and also very smartly thought about the smart material, and also took us to the various different sources of energy, how we can go from the available energy, which is going to be exhausted very soon, to the alternative energy. And also, Madam has told about the smart material, and each and every topic is ignited my mind, and with the same energy, with the same kind of the wealth as a knowledge which occurred from this workshop, I will be going back to my Vidyalaya. I will ignite the mind of my student, and I want that instead of all the students to go for the engineering, doctor, other things we need, especially in India. We need the more scientists to come, because every reference whenever we are talking, and we are taking in consideration to the other country, but actually always I think as a science teacher, we have to ignite the younger minds to think in this line, how they can become a scientist and put forth all their knowledge, whatever we are acquiring. But one thing I feel that in Indian education system, I suppose not to say in this platform, we are more theoretically inclined towards that. We are just only transforming the textual knowledge to our children, and most of the time completing the syllabus and preparing the children for the examinations and scoring the marks, or entering into the IITs, or the what we can say that in the medical. But we have to shift from this theoretical part to the practical part, where we have to set up more and more laboratories in the Vidyalaya. even small, like here, this smart material, whatever we are talking about, nano material, nanotechnology, whatever it may be, that should be included in the curriculum, and also from the basic, like we say that from the waste to wealth, and from the basic, from the right from the primary to the secondary, they should always have the hands-on experience by decreasing the theoretical syllabus, and we have to include more practical oriented, so that such a kind of the workshop will be definitely be fulfilled. As the teachers, we are very much what we can say that, especially I'm talking about myself after attending this program yesterday, was talking to my colleague, and I am getting so many knowledges we have got. Even we don't know why we are taking the zinc tablet during the COVID. And that professors very well, he explained that because how to, from the pollution, we need a zinc. Therefore, we are taking the zinc tablet in our as a medicine. So therefore, the lot of informations was shared in this platform. I'm really thankful to the all the organizer, each and every person in this program, on time to time managing everything. There is no word to say that. And finally, I just want to fold my hands and say thanks to each and everyone to organizing such a wonderful program and igniting my mind with the same energy. I will go back on Monday and I'll be sharing this all the things to my colleagues, and wherever they'll get a chance, because I work as a resource person for the many program, I'm going to ignite that. I want to make my students more and more scientists like you people to come into the field to achieve that 2050, the target. That's a thanks to all of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kantimati. You have rightly said. Actually, we are very much thankful to all of you, because all of your participation, your interest, that has motivated us and that has upgraded us. Say, as a team, we all are working towards a more better, more increased and more better nation. So thank you so much. We wishes you for a speedy recovery, and for other participants, those who want to share, they can share their experience in the chat, or they can mail also. Ladies and gentlemen, now to move ahead, I would like to invite our another guest, Mr. Vinod Kumar, Deputy Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Raipur region. Sir, we request you for your kind words to the August gathering, please. Mr. Vinod Kumar, sir, please.
Actually, madam, Mr. Vinod Kumar is absent here due to some health problem.
Okay.
And Dr.
Okay.
Bandha Shekhar, Assistant Commissioner, is here from Jabalpur region.
So, madam, I invite you to address the August gathering, please. Madam Vandana, please.
सभी को नमस्कार. And first I would like to wish everybody happy बसंत पंचमी. आज बहुत ही हमारा पावन दिन है इस फंक्शन के लिए. So first please accept my greetings and wishes for this Basant Panchami, this auspicious occasion. The Ma Saraswati Vidya Devi, she flourishes everybody's mind with good knowledge, good support, and we get good health and prosperity everywhere. First, my esteemed director, CSIR, Professor Avnish Srivastavji, Dr. Partha Ghosh, scientist from DRDO, Professor Vivekananda from NIT Patna, and Deputy Commissioners from Bhopal, from Jabalpur region, from Raipur region, complete team of CSIR, Professor Sadananji, all my learned teachers, dear friends. It's been very, I should say, great occasion for me since I'm a student of economics. But I found that the science and technology cannot survive without economics also, and economics cannot survive without science and technology. Because when Sir was talking, Shwasa Sir was talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat 5 pillars, I found all 5 pillars were totally attached to the life of economics, because the science and technology, it improves the human life index. The human development index plays a very important role for putting us in the category of developed countries, so that where the question of development comes, we can never put ourselves away from science and technology. It has been playing and will always play a very important role in the life of human beings, and that nobody can deny it. and very interesting and very alarming topics have been taken care during this 2 days workshop and earlier also, because I had been part of your sessions since I am associated with KVS. So KVS gives us great opportunity to be a part of all these eminent activities. So in that I have gone through, and these topics definitely are igniting the minds of my staff members, and especially CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal. I was just going through various sessions, and one word I have got: actuator. Your institution is working as the actuator to add the scientific temperament to the life of people, to uplift us and make us to be part of this independent and आत्मनिर्भर भारत. तो बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल आपकी इंस्टीट्यूशन प्ले कर रही है, और बच्चों के लिए, टीचर्स के लिए, all the information, all the knowledge, the practical scenario which has been exposed by your institution is very important, because eco-friendly concrete materials, on sustainable materials, even on medical side also. In the last session it was on कैंसर से रिलेटेड कुछ आप लोग के जो प्रोफेसर थे उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से बताया था बच्चों को. दैट वाज वेरी गुड सेशन. बहुत ही यूजफुल ये सेशंस हैं, और बहुत अच्छा एक्सपोजर हमारे टीचर्स को भी मिल रहा है. It's only one humble request: if all these eminent scientists like Professor Ghosh, Professor Vivekananda, Professor Subramaniam, if the direct interaction with my students, if they are available to my students, that will definitely motivate to get more and more young scientists from KVS to a country, to the world, to the maximum benefit. बहुत ही अच्छा है हम लोग के लिए, and I am very thankful that I am invited for this. Thanks to Director AMPRI, to Sadanand ji and the complete team. Thank you very much. Good evening. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Now I request to Professor Vivekananda Singh. Sir.
Tajuddin.
No, madam, no.
Okay.
Mr. Vivekananda.
Due to unavoidable reason, he must not have joined this program. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Vivekananda ji, our guest of honor of today's program. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible, ma'am.
Yeah. So before inviting our guest of honor of today's Professor Vivekananda Singh, I would like to share his list of achievement with you. He is a professor and former head Department of Civil Engineering in National Institute of Technology, Patna. He has obtained his bachelor degree from VIT Shindi, Dhanbad. He has obtained his master degree and PhD degree in civil engineering with specialization in water resources engineering from IIT Kanpur, India. He more than 30 years of experience in engineering, education, and research. His working areas are water resources, hydraulic, flood, drought, surface and groundwater modeling, etc. He has published around 85 research papers in referred journals, international journals, and conferences. He has supervised 38 and 6 PhD students. Dr. Singh has worked as chair professor of Dr. Rajendra Prasad Chair of Water Resources at NIT Patna. Dr. Singh has worked in many other conferences and references and seminars. The list is very long. Not taking much of the time now, I invite our guest of honor, Professor Vivekananda Singh, for his address to the august gathering, please. Sir, please.
Thank you, Madam Sarika ji. Thank you very much, and Sadanand Misra ji, and those who have invited me. First of all, good evening to all of you. Respected Director of CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, Professor Avnish Kumar Srivastava, Mr. Binod Kumar, Deputy Commissioner of KVS Raipur region, Dr. Bandana Shikhar, Assistant Commissioner of KVS Jabalpur region, Mr. Tajuddin Sheikh, and then chief guest of this valedictory function, that is Dr. Partha Ghoshal, Scientist G and Head Electron Macroscopy DMRI, DRDO, and Dr. Sanand Misraji, Senior Scientist and Coordinator of CSIR Jigyasa. All the scientists, teachers, staffs, and other participants who are present online or from different schools and member of the organizing committee of this workshop and media person. It's my privilege to be here in this valedictory function of 5th National Science Teacher Workshop 2022, that is 2022, on Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge science and technology, organized by the CSIR-AMPRI under the umbrella of Jigyasa. So I will first of all say the Jigyasa. Generally, this term we denote in the Hindi language Jigyasa, and if you go towards the English side, then the curiosity. Jigyasa was launched with the objective of connecting the school students and the scientists so as to extend students' classroom learning with that of a very well planned research laboratory based learning. That is what Bandra Madam was also telling about this. The main objective or aim was to create awareness among the school children. That is the basic level or root level from where we are growing. That is about the importance of science and the impact of the science in the society. These programs enable the students and the teachers to practically live with the theoretical concepts, thoughts, and whatever concept has been taught in science by visiting CSIR laboratories and by participating in mini science. The basic input required at the root level, that is at school level, is to create the awareness among the young students, those who are just coming to the school. What the students are going to learn, why they want to study, why they should study the science, arts, and the professional subjects. So these things, they have to ignite, teachers have to ignite the students, how they can grow in this direction. What are the application of these subjects? Obviously, the first is to gain the basic things. Then automatically they get curiosity about the study and to learn more and more through the practical, theory to the practical knowledge. But who is teaching them? That is none other than the teachers. So the teachers is very important. The role of teacher is paramount. Teachers is sharing the knowledge, giving them education. They are teaching them, they are training them, and they are encouraging the students. They are guiding them to become a good citizen. The teacher plays the role of mentors or learners, especially during the formative years at schools. Early learners and young students usually observe the behavior and approach of their teachers to mirror their own actions. The advice given by the teacher is taken seriously, and very often the students turn to their teachers for guidance and advice. I can tell you one of the things. The students, one of the child, just I'm living in a flat, and just near to that there is a student or a child, we can say. He has started going to the school. His parents was telling to do this. They were not doing that. But once they have gone to the school, teacher says do this. Then they came here and they are telling, they are doing that thing. And they are telling even the parents, no, don't do these things because teacher says this. So they are obeying the teachers. They are following the teachers. So that is what I mean to say. The teachers are very important. And the teachers interact with the learner on a regular basis and for long hours, naturally leading to an important developmental relationship where learner rely on more than just guidance with the subject being taught and new ideas and subject project from where they can get. It is from the scientist. Teachers they are getting from the scientist and they are delivering to the student. So this workshop is very important for the teachers and the scientist interaction for learning about the new things. They are delivering that to the teacher. Scientists are delivering that to the teachers through the interaction, maybe through the experiment, maybe through the theoretical backgrounds or concepts. But these new technology and science that will propagate towards the young learners through the teachers. So about workshop, I will say self and the things the students who are coming, this is the foundation level. We can say if their foundation is very strong, then obviously those in which way you want to train them, they will go in that direction because the students are or new comers to the schools, they are just like a clay. If you are molding them, whatever you want to mold, if you want to make them scientists, obviously they will become the scientists. If you want to make them their doctor, engineer, researcher, whatever the direction, or in fact, if you want to give them bad habits, I think that will be molded towards that. So those who are molding them, that is nothing but the teachers. And if teachers have the training to teach them by the very good knowledge, because you have all the KVS, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, that is very good sansthan. In fact, in our country, and then Navodaya Vidyalaya, all schools are very good schools. So about the workshop, that is Self-Reliant. Self-Reliant India using cutting edge science and the technology. What is a very good topic these days? It is the burning topic for all of us. It is now the slogan of self-dependent or self-reliant. That is the ability to depend on yourself, to get things done and to meet your own needs. And that can be first for the individuals, students. If you are telling to the students, if you are training to the students, they will do for themselves. If you are telling them you should be your own dependent, don't depend upon the others, then obviously the students will do their own work, everything they will do. Obviously, if they will do all the works from very beginning up from the foundation level, obviously he will go to the next top level and he will always rely what is the work, how we can do that, and obviously he will get into the startup. So I will say the student, they should realize the individuals, and then once they will depend upon the themselves, then they will grow more and more. And obviously it will start from the individual levels to the global level for the society or for the regions, and then for the who will guide the young students for this self-dependent? Again, the teachers from the scientists. The teachers are getting from the scientists because these are the recent or innovative technological regions or era, we can say. So the whatever the new technology that has been developed, whatever the new innovative idea has come, that comes through the research. And research, those who are doing the research, that is the scientists. So scientists delivered that to the teachers, and teachers delivered that to the young students. So that is what we have. I think our Honorable Prime Minister always says about the self-reliant of India. But who will make it if we will give this idea to the young learners and properly propagate these to the root level or in the foundation level? Then naturally a time will come when everyone will think about self-dependent, and finally India will become the self-dependent country. Obviously, all the teachers, those who are coming from here, they are going to the school level, and obviously they have to come again with across the student. And I know in our country, teachers are very high, and always we say the guru, and guru always respect the students also, their views, their ideas, how they are getting. And nowadays, if the students will learn more and more and they will self-dependent, obviously the country will depend there. And once the student will start from there, they will come slowly to the higher level. Obviously, they will get their startup and they will think about how we can do. And once everybody will do their own startup, obviously India will get the self-dependent India. Though we are growing slowly in that direction. But once this will propagate in the foundation level, or that is in the root level, that will come from that level to the, so in blood, in fact, the students, all the bloods will be what we can say, irrigated through these seeds. What is that seeds? Seeds is nothing but the self-dependent. That is what we are going to do. So this workshop topic is very good. I think I will congratulate the Sadanand Misra ji and our director, respected director, Avnish Kumar Srivastava ji, and whole team, those who are organizing this, and the teachers who are getting these benefits, also all the participants who are getting this benefit from this. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice words. You have beautifully explained the importance and the value of the teachers, as well as their work that they are doing towards the nation, towards the student. And you have beautifully explained the chain between the student, teacher, scientist, and how we all are interrelated with each other and we can help each other towards the self-reliant India, which is a dream of our Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you once again, sir. Now to proceed further, ladies and gentlemen, it's our proud and privilege that we have with us a very eminent personality as a chief guest, Dr. Partha Ghoshal with us. Before I would invite him about to address the August gathering, I would like to share his introduction with you. The achievement list is very big and it is very difficult to put into the words, but I'll try to share everything about his experiences. He is a scientist G in Defense Meteorological Research Lab, Hyderabad of DRDO. Then he has done his PhD in Meteorological Engineering, IIT BHU. He has been a DART visiting scientist at Technical University, Coastal Germany. He has more than 30 years of research experience and he has been held in the various positions such as head of the Electron Microscopy Group, head of the Advanced Materials Categorization Center, Project Director, Nano, Government of India, Ministry of Defense, DRDO. He has been the project leader of various prestigious projects which has been funded by various agencies over the years. He has been more than 155 research publications in his credit. He has more than 20 patents which has been filed, granted or published in the national and international forum. He has guided around 335 BTech students, 6 MTech students, 5 PhD and 21 dental MD students. He is a life member of many societies and he has been involved in organizing many workshops, conferences, seminars and so on. The list is very long. So now I'd like to invite our chief guest of today's program to kindly address the August gathering. Sir, please. Thank you, sir.
Good evening to you all. You able to hear me?
Sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
At the outset, let me thank the organizing committee in particular Dr. Avnish Srivastava, who is heading the organization, and his team with the eminent and efficient team. Mr. is there. So I'm very thankful. And the first sentence goes that it's a very important day. It's a Vasant Panchami for the education. For the field of it's a worship day on the day of the Lord of knowledge and education, and it's so befitting. So it says well that all is well that ends well. So you can see that how your workshop, how the education to the teachers has been culminated on a very auspicious day. So this gives us the beginning of what you aim for. With this small introduction, I like to say that I like to address the students gathering that in Indian science, in Indian and in how we attained in the last 2 years, what have we learned, why this workshop is important for the educator of the country. As somebody rightly said, that there are various organizations where we have a lot of engineers and scientists and other people. Those need to train the subsequent gap between the students and them, and that is the educator, that's the school teacher. And the best thing is that we have the Kendriya Vidyalaya and Navodaya Vidyalaya teachers, and and the subsequent team is the best thing to culminate whatever we have today, the knowledge we have, to culminate to the students, to the younger generation. I think you know that India is one of the second highest capacity of young population in the whole country. What do you mean by young? Which is below from 14 to 55. The number of population in the country is all over the world. We are second in the rank. That means we have a huge potential for the future generation. I hope you are able to hear me.
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you.
So I'll just tell about you from agriculture to rocket science, how Indian science has researched over the last 2 years and made notable contribution in several domains. And this cutting edge science and technology is the need of the hour. I will tell you why, how. Basically, the name itself is Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which in English is translated into what is called the Self-Reliant India, and using cutting edge science and technology. So this is the right time, the right frame of the title itself has fit into the call given by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that let's make it an Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. So this particular program, or this vision, I will say, is exactly has been matched with the workshop. Now the scientists and the research institutes took up the call and initiated many projects in mission mode to nurture our ecosystem during this pandemic, which we have faced after 100 years. And this is a befitting time because we are technologically so advanced, but still we are not able to handle what has come on our way. So we will discuss today how we have managed that, how India is able to manage science and technology. What are we doing? I'm just going to address in maybe 10 minutes time. So look at from farming to rocket science, we are ending up with all artificial intelligence. People are not knowing about the artificial intelligence, AI, except the computer science or the computer engineer students. But now you live out everything. Everybody knows about what is called artificial intelligence in a broader sense. So that means the science is percolating to the common person also. So Indian science has been a resurgence during the last 5 years. So India has become the first country, just try to imagine, India has become the first country to come out with a DNA-based coronavirus vaccine in the world. The whole world was talking about. They are discussing and doing meetings, and we started working on them. And although the formula has been invented in UK, but the chemical, the workforce and the machineries, everything was available, and the material and the raw material, everything was available in the country, so we could start off the production. Only then, as on date, 1.5 billion people got vaccinated. These numbers could have come because we are ready for tomorrow. Look at how Indian enterprises and harnesses innovation. How this innovation, they fight the pandemic. You look at, there are so many people may not know. There are My Lab Discovery is a lab who has come out with most efficient indigenous within 6 weeks. They have come out that how to test coronavirus test so efficiently. There are other companies like CSIR-AMPRI technology, which has made 1 lakh ventilators to meet the expected spike which is going to come. If you look at the other companies, Singh, which is working on development of antibody detection as well as vaccine against coronavirus. And now we are working on how the vaccine can be paid which can be given on the nose. So this innovation has been kicked off in this time, in the time of the need. In order to disseminate this research you have put to public, there is a channel, I think many of you may be following it, that India Science Channel in your TV, which is producing a series of short movies under the category Service for a Self-Reliant India, because the title matches. I just quoted this. There's a Science for a Self-Reliant India. It started in January 2021. You must go through some of the episodes, some of the chapters to look into it, how we are developing, what are things available. Although today in WhatsApp University, I think you will find many information, but there are many misinformation and many edited videos. So try to follow which is more authentic. Like one of them is India Science Channel. The program and telecast is both in Hindi and English, so that it can reach the mass viewers. So during the pandemic, the channel has produced several programs to disseminate, like how to tackle COVID-19, how to wear masks, how to use the ventilators, or how to use the gases. Okay, how India is battling with oxygen supply. So many things are, and then each one is a chapter, is a episode, like you observe serial in your TV. You can observe them. Those who are science teachers. So if you look at it, India has developed an impressive track record in actually genome research, also in the biotechnology. So I must congratulate the Department of Biotechnology and the Department of Science and Technology for working on the mission mode, working on the project on mission mode. This is called mission mode project. That means you gave only 1 or 2 years to solve the problem. So the people generally work on mission mode to provide a roadmap on how different types of genome research can take place, so that we work on the cancer, the diabetic, the viruses, like other viruses which are coming on, because we have a lot of population. We have number of viruses. If it comes on, it percolates, it spreads so easily. So this is one of the things which we actually kicked off. So there are other institutes, like there are National Center for Microbial Research, which is a part of a National Center for Cell Science in Pune. There is a Center for Brain Research at IISc. There is a Center for DNA fingerprinting in Hyderabad. They have started off very fast mode research to come to very innovative science products. Even the development has been made in the front of alternative energy, like solar cell. I think you will be observing that there are various types of solar cells. The photovoltaic cells have been invented in very short time, which has been used as the e-mobility project to go around this thing. We are working on the electric, going electric. So you can see number of, if you go to any major cities, you will find number of different companies, startups, entrepreneurship has come out for the electric scooter. And you may not imagine, there are 18 companies which have been approved by government of India as a startup. Those who can start their company, they have given interest-free loan. Government has given interest, so they can start off. And there are 18 companies who are working on electric bikes. India is like that. So the government of India has a multi-pronged strategy to reduce imports and increasing indigenous products. So this is a new development. Okay, I think those who are in government sector, you cannot purchase anything from abroad just easily. Which is first you have to invest, you have to find out how much is available in the country. So there is a serious contribution which is required and is done by actually CSIR labs. So I look at the AMPRI. So where is this been host? See, it is doing research on the waste management, like industrial waste, the fly ash, which is very dangerous. How to use them to roads, nano biomaterials, that water resource management, then hybrid building material. These are the need of the hour, and these have been taken up very recently. Thanks to the leader, those who can think ahead of time and working on those. The intelligent materials like the smart actuators, actuators. I think of the electromagnetic foaming machine, Maxip Hospital. They are able to come out of the Maxip Hospital in Bhopal, and this is which is possible by the scientific brain. So this is the need of the hour of society. You look at the agriculture in the country, including the animal husbandry sector to the rural economy. There are various programs like how to improve the oil seed production, how to improve transforming life through temperature horticulture. Different temperatures, how can you do horticulture? The fragrance economy. Okay, you find a lot of food with different fragments. Okay, the cattle factor, the high altitude animal husbandry. We have variety of temperature in our country. So there are cold countries, high altitude countries. We need to address those things. So there are various science options, projects which are coming. Like one of them is cold water fishery in Kashmir. It is very interesting, and this science has given contributions. He has given enormous contribution to actually materialize this project. India's how the milk is managed. The huge population, how the milk gets doesn't get spoiled, how it is packaged, how it is distributed. Over the night, in the early morning, everybody gets a packet of milk. How to get it? When does it pack? How does it doesn't go bad? So this is all the science. So how this is all and it's percolate up to rural economy. Like one of the example is the NIRD in Hyderabad. This is a National Institute of Rural Development. You will not believe this is the only government organization in which there is a chances to learn the application of science and technology for rural India. This is mind-boggling experience when I visited along with the son there. That at that place there we have illiterate villagers as customers and technocrats and scientists at the selling point. You make something, you sell to the customer, those are totally illiterate. So the science has come down to that level where you can make it much more easier. So this interface of the requirement of rural population, science and technology plays an important role for the common people. And we need to actually bridge this gap, because there is a gap in the country so far. It is not down. Like I've given an example of NIRD, which is the only institute which actually helps the rural people to come there and take advantage of the advanced gadgets, understand them and take them home and take them to the field. So the country has also looked at the developing various devices for the disabled. Our country is huge population. You will not believe 5 to 6% people are disabled in some form. So there are various assistive devices. People have been working on it, and they have devices they're developing. There are small startups which make these devices. Okay, for actually so maybe for those who are not having the hands and the legs and the fingers. So there are various things. As urban population grows, the country is facing major challenges with the quantum of waste generated per day. The waste not only has a direct impact on our health, as a country's economy, for the entire ecosystem also. So you can also look into there's a chapter. It's called India's solid waste management strategy. How do we handle this? See, every day you throw away all the garbages just outside your house, okay, or somebody collects it. Where does it go? How does it pile up? How it is managed? So you can look into this episode. Is India's solid waste management strategy in the India Science Program. So these all comes under program and activated during Swachh Bharat mission, which is last 4 years is running on. So this mobile users in India is another factor. By 2023, you will not believe 55% of our population will be using only smartphones. Although 55% of the population is not fully literate, but they use smartphones. So we have to start working. So the Indian mobile phone sector needs to jack up. They need to with the demand, because the demand is so high, because people started using on it. There's a lot of economy is very open. Economy is not rigid. People are not keeping their money in the bank. It is the market. India has made notable contribution in infrastructure. Even you look at the high altitude roads, the bridges, tunnels. You forget about the normal roads. There are so many. I think you know about the tunnels which have been made in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir. There is one more tunnel, Sela Tunnel, SELE. Sela Tunnel is actually in the Tibet and China border, and it is the height of 13,000 feet, and it is done by the Border Road Organization. So it is using the modern technology. It is at very high altitude. It's so much of cold. Nobody can walk. You cannot carry any instrument there, major instrument. So science and technology could be actually the most important is for the children. If you need to develop scientific temper, you have to impart in the society in the school level, not in the high school, even in the primary school. So, what is important factor? The toys used a very important tool for inducing and scientific temper in a child. The toy can be used as a perfect teaching teaching model to promote science education among children. Unfortunately, most of the scientific toys are imported, and if you deserve, now people are attempting to make this, and you can look at the movie, the science through play, the indigenously how the toy making institute, like there are some institutes in the country, companies like Hemorovo and Nativity, they are how they are trying to make science-based toys, and this will become popular in the country in a year's time. The future of science belongs to AI technology, that is artificial intelligence technology, as it is going to transform our society. So there is an episode in Indian Science Channel, that is Robotics in India. Highlight the advancement made in India in this sector. The contribution of startup companies like Gigbots in Ahmedabad, Acidmove in Kerala, and there is a Sky, and then there is in Hyderabad Skyroot. You can look at it. There are various companies which are coming up, which will be using the artificial intelligence, the robotics, and they will try to reach even the various scientific organizations like this Skyroot. The Skyroot is a private agency which is emerging an extraordinary opportunity in space. They are working for the space thing, and even what they are thinking, how to reach the sky. Like you have seen in US, there is a company which can reach the different parts of the of galaxy they are planning. So in India also, there are Skyroot and other companies which are coming up. They are building the technologies for a responsive, reliable, and economic access to the space. The country has indeed made significant achievements in every field of science and technology. The Indian Science Channel has been the forefront in deciphering the scientific information and bridging the gap between the scientists and the society. In the aftermath of after this 2 years of pandemic, is a huge opportunity for India to transform into a thriving economy through economic policies and leverage, and is aimed to attain and high-end science and technology build society. So without taking much time, I must say that I think you have all attended so many lectures, so many areas, and you must have educated. Even if you got educated by 10%, it is more than sufficient. If you can absorb actually around 10% of what have been taught on the workshop, it is more than sufficient. And if you can percolate that, even half of it, 5%, that is more than the Indian students. Besides protecting against Indian global chain disruption, basically, this main aim is to sharpen focus on the small institute, like it's called micro, small, and actually medium enterprise, SME. So India is doing that, and India has experience of turning crisis into opportunity by leveraging the scientific, engineering, and software skills. We have knowledge and the skill base in rank as per the world greatest scientific power, but we need the confidence of having essentially transforming into science and technology powerhouse. Our ideas go outside, so we have to use them. We have to know the technology. The word technology comes, we have to start using them to bring it to product. So we first encourage our scientists to create and market their intellectual property. So research institutes must be encouraged to coordinate with industry to share resources and skills which CSIR labs are doing, and which will eventually facilitate better and relevant output to society. The success of the biomedical sector, which we have seen very recently, which all of you have seen through various social media, should be replicated to other sectors in this, and should be the Indian economy. Looking at the Indian economy, we will excel within no time. Without taking much of your time, I must say that even the Kendriya Vidyalaya is having so many auto science labs. Okay, so what we have in one of the labs was associated with the Kendriya Vidyalaya in Hyderabad, in Kanchanbag. So I know there's a science auto science lab, which is really fast and it's so successful. Students are very happy. So such labs, even if the government doesn't give, you can other many organizations can sponsor this. So at the end of it, I just want to complete my lecture and address all the things that these are all the achievements which is possible. So I must congratulate one of the important laboratory of the country is AMPRI in actually Bhopal to really take a lead to educate the students and the teachers basically of the important sectors like KV and NV. And I must congratulate the full team of AMPRI and also the participants to spare time and to learn. And I request all of you to percolate to the students of the country. And with this few words, I hope I am able to make you all a glimpse of India, how the science and technology is giving a cutting edge importance to that topic, that is self-reliance India, how to make it more and more vibrant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your very nice, informative lecture. Really, it was a very eye-opening talk that you have talked about each and every area wherein the science is putting the intervention. You talked about the agriculture sector, you talked about the aerospace, you talked about the robotics, you talked about many other medical sectors in everything. And the important thing you have shared is how India is achieving the things, like you given the example of the COVID vaccination, how beautifully we have successfully done this thing achievement, and the vaccination and the other program. So sir, again, thank you so much. It was a really, really very wonderful and eye-opening talk that you have shared with all of us.
I'm sorry,
Thank
I
you so
took
much,
slightly
sir.
more
Now to
time.
proceed. No, not at all. So it was really very means listening from you. It was like thinking about all the zone that wherein more interventions we can put, and so that definitely self-reliance towards the better world, better nation, we would give to the nation, sir. Thank you so much. So to proceed further, now I'd like to invite Director CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, Professor Dr. Avnish Kumar Srivastava ji, for his concluding remark for the today's program. Sir, please.
First of all, thanks to our speakers for giving such excellent content in their lecture. And I think that's going to be very useful for all participants. Like Professor Vivekananda Singh said, the connectivity of scientists, teachers and students is very important. That's really true. And most of the time scientists, teachers are at one side and students are on the other side. And we need to share our knowledge. And Dr. Vandana said about more about practical oriented courses in classroom teaching. That's really something which we all need to think together that how to do that, because theoretical knowledge what we are giving is very, very important. I mean, we cannot ignore that, but at the same time how to bring that practical things in classroom teaching, that's very important, because to realize what is really happening. Then our chief guest, Dr. Partha, almost covered all the sectors, and he basically expressed that how the science and technology in modern days, how it is moving, what are the sources, and the reliable sources are also important. You should not be driven away by something which is not true, because when you are going to teach in classrooms, you have to teach right things also. That's very important. So India Science Channel and such sources where you can get the reliable information is very important. We need to have more and more number of entrepreneurs, startups, to create more and more job providers rather than job seekers. That's very important actually. And that can be done only when we have more implication, dissemination, and effective utilization of science and technology in the society, so that we can have more entrepreneurs, startups, more and more industries, and so that we can create more jobs. And when we are talking about the self-reliant Atmanirbhar Bharat. Basically, that is one thing which is very important, economy part, which our Dr. Vandana was also trying to emphasize that we need to be economically very strong. And how do we become very strong? How do we compete with our fellow developed countries? I mean to say healthy competition. We need to have very strong intervention of science and technology. And more and more innovations from the Indian side is also very important. Because when you have your own foundation, definitely you will feel more confident. So all those things are very important, and I think these 2 days lectures have covered several topics, what Dr. Partha was also mentioning, starting from agriculture to bio to materials engineering, health sector, and other very important sector, rural technologies. All these things are important, and we can keep enriching our knowledge like this only by organizing lectures, workshops, seminars, and we are all somewhere, we are all thinkers also. So we have to think that how to improve the overall curriculum of the classroom teaching. So probably when everybody thinks in the same direction, definitely things improve. And whatever we think today here, definitely, as Dr. Partha said, at least 10% or 10, out of 10%, 5% goes in our day-to-day daily life practice. I think that it's worth organizing such workshops. So with these comments, I still open 5 to 10 minutes for any participant if he or she wants to make any comment. Not more than 10 minutes, because I think we have already extended about close to 2 hours we are. So 5 to 10 minutes is still, I wish that if somebody wants to make any comment, so that we should not leave anybody. From participant side, we are open to listen, and if we can respond to some extent. So any participant want to make any comment, please feel free to share your view.
Excuse me, sir. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Myself, PGT Physics from KV Raigad. My suggestion is that in the workshop was very much interesting and wonderful. But one more suggestion, that if online activities on any scientific method are organized in this workshop, then we can also conduct that activity in the class, so that students will be more benefited. This is my suggestion, sir.
Sure, sure. We will try to incorporate this suggestion in future workshops.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anybody else? So if not, then once again, thank you to all of the gathering, others gathering, sitting here, sharing this platform from my side and from on behalf of CSIR-AMPRI. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the concluding remark of this particular program.
Yes, sir.
Now I'd like to invite. Hello. Now I'd like yes, sir. Now I'd like to invite my colleague, Dr. Satanand Mishra, Senior Scientist and Coordinator of this CSIR Jigyasa program, to propose a vote of thanks. Dr. Mishra, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sarika. We are pleased to have such massive participation on this juncture. The large connectivity of participants and their excellent feedback strengthen us, and it shows the grand success of the program. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. The prime aim of the Jigyasa program is to cultivate the scientific temperament among the students and teachers, encourage them, provide a deep vision into the emerging technologies and their application in numerous fields. This can prove to be beneficial for both students and teachers. We are connected here under CSIR Jigyasa program, and I feel proud to share that around 1.15 lakhs students and teachers benefited by CSIR Jigyasa program so far. Jigyasa is found everybody and everywhere. जिज्ञासा ही हम सबको एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर यहाँ लेकर आई है। मैं कुछ पंक्तियां जिज्ञासा के बारे में कहना चाहूंगा। जिज्ञासा क्या है? एक कौतूहल मात्र है, यह सोच है मन की, यह प्यास है जीवन की। क्या हो गर या ना हो, समझ न होगी, प्यार न होगा, जरूरत का एहसास न होगा। हम न रहेंगे, तुम न रहेंगे, हम न रहेंगे, तुम न होंगे, ये सुंदर संसार न होगा। जिज्ञासा है आधार सभी का, जिज्ञासा है आधार सभी का, जिज्ञासा है सार सभी का। तो बिना जिज्ञासा लाइफ की कोई मीनिंग नहीं है। इन पंक्तियों के साथ मैं कहना चाहूंगा। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, I would like to express my sincere gratitude towards our chief guest, Dr. Partha Ghoshal, scientist, G and head of the electron microscopy, DRML, DRDO, for the presence and giving wonderful talk and motivated us. Sir, you have shared views on cutting-edge science and technology for self-reliant India, importance of adopting innovations technique to visualize insight of future, and importance of innovative techniques of connected during COVID pandemic and appreciative government of India for work on future research projects in different dimensions, such as agriculture, waste to wealth for indigenous product development, such as genome, and many more. You have elaborated use of artificial intelligence, robots. You have covered all the fields of related science and technology. I hope that all the participants get benefited by your motivational part. Thank you once again, sir. I would like to express my special thanks to our guest of honor, Professor Vivekananda Singh, Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, NIT, Patna, for a wonderful and mesmerizing speech and enlighten us. You have focused on young scientists and future of the nation. You have elaborated Jigyasa, you have ignited the young mind and teacher. Sir, you have motivated teachers to update themselves by cutting edge science and technology and propagate their new ideas with new generation. Young mind to shape them for future challenges. I hope that all the participants benefited by your motivational word. Thank you once again, sir. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude to Vandana Shekhar, Dr. Vandana Shekhar, Assistant Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Jabalpur region, for being here as a special guest. Their coordination and support. Dr. Vandana Shekhar addressed the gathering by giving insight of importance of science and technology for growth of economy, human developing index, and level. CSIR-AMPRI has a creator to ignite young minds. I hope that all the participants get benefited by your motivational words. Thank you once again, madam. I would like to acknowledge my special gratitude to Mr. Somi Srivastava, Deputy Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Regional Office Bhopal, Mr. P.S. Sardar, Deputy Commissioner, Kendriya Navodaya Vidyalaya Samit, Regional Office Bhopal, Mr. Vinod Kumar, Deputy Commissioner, KVS Raipur Region, and Mr. Tajuddin Sheikh, Deputy Commissioner, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Jabalpur Region, for their coordination and support. Without his support, we are not able to conduct this workshop. Thank you all. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude Director and Principals of private schools for nomination of faculties in very short time. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude and a special thanks to District Education Officer Bhopal for his coordination and support and nominating faculties in very short time. I would like to extend my warm gratitude to our speakers Professor K.S. Tiwari, ex-director, IGNU, Dr. Anuj Hundet, Professor Physics and Electronics Department, IIT Bhopal, Dr. P.S. Okan, Chief Scientist, Dr. Engineer Manish Budgal, Senior Principal Scientist, Engineer H.N. Bhargav, Senior Principal Scientist, Dr. Sarika Verma, Principal Scientist, Dr. Chena Singh, Principal Scientist, Dr. Bandana, Principal Scientist, Dr. Kirti Soni, Principal Scientist from CSIR-AMPRI family are delivering wonderful and detailed lecture in their respective domains and enhancing and disseminating the knowledge to the participants. I would like to express my gratitude towards our mentor, Dr. Avnish Kumar Srivastava, Director CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, for awarding me a chance to organize the 5th National Science Teacher Workshop 2022 on Self-Reliant India using cutting-edge science and technology. We have successfully completed the workshop under your guidance and by your motivation. Without your support, it is not possible to get the heights of the success from half decade. Thank you, sir, once again. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude my HOD, Dr. Manish Budgal, Senior Principal Scientist and Head Center for Advanced Radiation, Shielding and Geopolymeric Material, CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal, for his support and presence. I would like to thank Dr. Chena Singh, Principal Scientist, CSIR-AMPRI, for her cooperation and support. I big thank to the all teachers who were the main pillars and made this program a success. I heartily convey my gratitude to all the scientists, technical officer, admin officer, research fellows, ACSIR research scholars, and all the staff of CSIR-AMPRI Bhopal for making the program a success. I would like to thank our IT team, Engineer Naren Singh, scientist, Engineer R.S. Ahirwar, Chief Scientist, and Dr. A.K. Singh, Chief Scientist, for their continuous support and excellent coordination. I would like to thank the press and media for the publicity of workshop. Last but not least, I would like to thank my team, Ms. Shivani Pandey, Tanmay Sardar, and Ms. Divya for his support. Thank you again to all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra. Thank you for the vote of thanks. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how now we come to the end of the program, end of such a wonderful program, and we expect to meet you next year as well with whatever discussions we had done and whatever achievements and the vision we have in the future. Definitely, together as a whole, as a team, we'll work for the self-reliant nation,
I request to all participants, please switch on your camera. I want to group photographs. Dear participants, please switch on your camera.
Yeah, group photo.
Okay, thank you.
So thanks to all of you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you so
sir.
much.
Thank you very much.